she say she want hood nigga. I keep the perk by the pound. The trunk stay bumpin', y'all know we run the town. Hood nigga. And I keep a bad bitch around. Thick bitch, long hair, yellow, white, red, brown. Hood nigga. And my Chevy sitting on 24s. Flats look like flapjack. Pancake, you ain't no hood nigga. I'ma play the game how it go. They can take me out the hood, but I'ma keep it hood, folks. I'm on that good and alcohol. I got some down bitches I can't call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'ma fall till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. Yeah. I can give a darn about no hate long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I'm on that. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this super fly, dirt, coast, muddy water. Shorty, pop that pussy if you wanna. Let me tell you about this old school pouring lean, candy yams and collard greens, pocket full of stones, riding clean.
Well, I'm just one parlay away from a new house, new car. I'm just one parlay away. Trust I'ma take us far. I'm just one parlay away. One parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, I took the Chiefs on over, took my homes on yards. Everything is going good so far. Lakers beating the Knicks. Spread is only 6. 2 minutes left in the game, baby. I'm about to hit. Ow!
I need out, yeah, I need out. Blood pressure higher than a body count. Tomorrow she has to go. She's a mama. I think I married a hoe. Married a hoe. I said, mama, I think I married a hoe. I made a mistake, mama. No, oh no. I want you. A man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. All these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal. When a rich brother wants you and your man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. Ain't loyal. Whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my...
All right, y'all. We back up in here, y'all. We back up in here, man. I gotta pick a different beat tonight because we doing something different, man. Let me see what we got. Yeah. We gonna ride that tonight. Yeah, I ain't dropped that in a while. All right, man. Welcome back. For most people that don't know, this is an episode on J Talk Sports, but also we're on Let's Talk with JVJ and also on Let's Talk with JVJ over on Facebook. As usual, man, I need y'all to like, subscribe, and share. Make sure y'all subscribe over to the J Talk Sports channel. It's linked down below in the description because once football season, and I'm talking about NFL football season, kicks off, I will not be doing Tuesday shows over on Let's Talk. It'll just be all on J Talk Sports. So if y'all into the sports conversation, make sure y'all go over there and sub up, man. Or if you're already watching over on Facebook, you're just going to be linked in with everything because Facebook will always be linked. Man, look, man. We got to talk about two different topics tonight, man. The season's about to come up for the NFL, and there have been a lot of conversations amongst the teams, the players, the coaches. And one that particularly stuck out to me, y'all, was a conversation about Lamar Jackson. Now, Harbaugh, his head coach, sat down and was doing an interview, and he gave praises on Lamar. And a lot of people are still in their feelings about the cat, man, because when he came in the league, man, people were trying to get him to go to running back. People were trying to get this guy to go to receiver. He's won 2 MVPs already. The man is out here doing everything you would want a quarterback to do. The only thing he hasn't done is won a Super Bowl, but everything else he has. And there's been always this conversation around him. And there's some people out in Baltimore that actually got a podcast, y'all. There's a few people in Baltimore that got podcasts, and they like covering this team, y'all. And they wanted to break down some of the critics on ESPN, Fox Sports, and see how they contradict themselves and see how they playing games. Because me personally, look, I'm a Kansas City fan. For y'all that don't know, Pat Mahomes, Goat Mahomes, that's my guy. But I won't sit around on here and lie about somebody else's talent. I won't diminish somebody thinking that that's gonna uplift the player that I root for, the team that I root for. I'm very happy with where the NFL is right now, and I'm always worried when certain teams end up matching up with other teams. Josh Allen is a beast. Lamar Jackson is a beast. Jalen Hurts, that's a really good team, and that boy know how to keep that bitch afloat. There are a lot of good players. Joe Burrow is a hell of a slinger of the football, y'all. There's a lot of good players out here, but I see that there's a lot of people that want to diminish people to try to prop other people up, and Lamar has been constantly getting diminished. So with these people that have a podcast up there in Baltimore, they had something to say, and they about to bring some checks. They got some checks that was written, and they about to cash them bitches in. So we're going to check that out first, and then we got to go to college football. We got to talk about that real quick, like afterwards. But it's really not going to be recent. It's going to be records that ain't nobody that's playing this season going to break any of them. But either way, though, if y'all ready, man, get your popcorn, get your weed, get whatever you need. We about to jump into it, man. I hope y'all ready for this, man. Let's go ahead and let's get this thing started.
John Harbaugh was on an ESPN show with Kevin Clark, and he made a statement that is just factually true. It's factually true, but it's been a narrative against Lamar Jackson. And so the usual culprits that like to not give Lamar Jackson all the credit that he 100% deserves, they've been having to do some mental gymnastics with this fact that defies everything they've been saying about Lamar for years.
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to drop the link for y'all, too, man, because this is the conversation shit.
We get to the national media's reaction. Let's get to what John Harbaugh had to say.
What did John Harbaugh say?
Basic, simple thing. Lamar is a passer. Yeah. He is a historically good passer. And that's really quite a statement because of the narrative that's been surrounding him ever since the beginning. Lamar Jackson can throw the football. He can throw it every kind of way. He can make every kind of throw, any kind of way you want. He's as good as any passer that there's ever been. And I think now the numbers are proving that. So that's the thing I'm kind of a little bit proud of, but also a little bit like, okay, here we go. What have we learned from that? You can take even big picture. You can say from a society standpoint, football standpoint, what do we learn from that? What kind of questions do we ask ourselves? But Lamar Jackson as a passer is historically great.
Bob,
And look, y'all, I agree with everything this man said. I actually had a fallout with somebody that used to be a big part of my channel over here about this because he was a big Baltimore fan. And he kept trying to diminish other people to hype Lamar up. And I'm like, look, bro, you gonna make me diminish him. I'm gonna have to argue the same way you argue because you ain't making no goddamn sense. Lamar is a hell of a quarterback that they doubted all the way from high school, all the way in college, all the way in the NFL. And it doesn't seem like no matter what he does, you're going to have people that keep doubting him. And honestly, I'll tell you right now, it's this, bro. It's this. It's like, oh, he runs because the quarterbacks you like can't. Oh, he can't throw. He's throwing better than the quarterbacks you like. Well, he's not winning the Super Bowl. Quarterbacks you like ain't won that. Harbaugh spoke facts, man. He spoke straight facts on that. And the man just getting hated on, man. Look. If he looked like Tom Brady, bro, I promise you, they'll love him to death and say he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because he's who he is. Look at the picture of him right here, man. Lamar, a nigga, man. Look, yeah, nigga, that's good at football, bro. They don't like that shit, bro. They do not like that shit. But I'm gonna let it keep going, man. They got some shit they need to get off their chest. And I need to speed this shit up a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna go at about we ain't gonna do 120, 125. We do about 120. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's go. And if y'all got an opinion, man, I dropped the link for y'all. I ain't finna pin it. So if you want to hit it, you find out where it's at. It's at the top.
we were gonna have to come up with a new name for our clips that we clip out and put on the YouTubes separately. So live chat's having fun with that. Okay.
They don't mind. Straight on, get your you know what out of here.
Everybody with their minds in the gutter. Okay. So what John Harbaugh said there, factually true, that Lamar Jackson is a historically great passer. Where he kind of hurts himself a little bit is he says he's as good as any passer that there's ever been. So it kind of implies that nobody's ever been better. But when we're talking about historically great passing, that is just true. And I put up some of his historic numbers from last year. He hasn't always been historically great. We've gone through the history of that. I feel like just growth helps with that. Offensive coordinator changes help with that. But last year, he factually was a historically good passer. He became the first player in NFL history with 40 or more passing touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions. He had 41 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions. It's unreal. Nobody has ever been that careful with the football before, ever. Plus, Bobby, his 7 games, he had 7 games with a passer rating of at least 135.0. That sets a single season NFL record to do that 7 times. And when you add it all up, all of his games, all 17, he notched the 4th best single season passer rating in NFL history. And Bobby, he's doing all that while, and nobody wants to give him credit for this, but he did all that on top of rushing for 915 yards, the first quarterback ever to throw for more than 4,000 and rush for 900, but nobody wants to talk about the 900. Somehow that's not a good thing. But
that ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
Look, we gotta be real, man. Look, y'all see them numbers on that board right there. Y'all see the numbers in that graphic. This dude had literally his best season he's ever had. Not to mention one of the greatest NFL seasons of all time. And he didn't even win MVP last year. He lost the MVP race to somebody who had lesser stats than him. He lost the shit to a player that had one more win than his team had, but his stats dwarfed him in every other category. Think about that. And there's still people out here, still to this day, that will sit around and say, this guy's not a good quarterback. All he does is run. Over 4,000 yards passing. Almost 1,000 yards rushing. 41 passing touchdowns. 4 interceptions, bro. 41 of 4? So almost every 9.999 something, he might, every 9 something, pretty much just say every 9 touchdowns, the 10th one, it might be a pick. And honestly, it's not even really how that shit works. He's really throwing 10 And then every blah, 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 whatever the fuck. That's crazy, man. He had 45 total TDs last year. So that means he ran in 4 more. His passer rating over 119. Like, dude, the dude almost had a 120 passer rating. Total yards on the year over 5,000 yards. Nobody had the numbers this dude had last year, and he didn't win MVP. They always try to move the goalposts for this dude, man. They've been moving the goalposts for him since he's been in the league, man. I'm a Pat Mahomes guy all day long, but I will not deny good talent. Like when I saw Josh Allen starting to come into himself, I'm like, bro, that dude, he look, he nice now. He sucked when he first started, but that boy nice. When Lamar came in, I just wanted to see what he had, man. All these people talked all this shit about him. Let me see what he got. That boy done proved, bro, he better than the rest of y'all boys. A lot of y'all boys y'all putting up at the top of them lists, Justin Herbert, G Herbo, as some people say. Nah, man, he better than him. He better than Jalen Hurts. He better than goddamn Matthew Stafford right now. He better than these dudes. Like, dude, it's a 3-man race in the league when it comes to my opinion. It's Mahomes, Josh, and Lamar. And you can put them in whatever order you want, and I won't be mad at you. I will not be mad at you. Even if you don't put my boy Goat Mahomes at the top, I won't be mad at you. Because last year, I wouldn't say he was the best player in the league. I wouldn't have said it. I would have gave it to that dude right there, the one that's on screen right now, y'all. And I'm a Kansas City fan. For all the folks that want to say somebody biased, I would have gave it to him. And Josh Allen played better than Mahomes last year, too. Like, we got to be real about this shit, man. That boy, the truth, man. But you got people out here that just hating on and praying on this man downfall. And it's like, bro, it's only one singular thing we can point it to, man. And I don't care what some people say. They be like, oh, you playing a race card. Like, dude, America was built on race, bro. And we see it every day. Just because you try to turn the blind eye to it don't mean it ain't happening, bro. You can say it ain't a monster underneath the bed and it's still a monster underneath the bed. That bitch gonna get you eventually. I don't care how many times you say it ain't there. You not there, you not there, you not there. Bitch gonna grab your leg. Like, let's be real, man. We know what the fuck it is, bro. We know what it is. We got Mr. Lissa up in the building. Man, why is my shit like this? But either way, I'm going to roll with it for right now. He said, big up JVJ, Lamar, the truth, bro. He is, man. The dude raw, man. I feel that team, man. I feel that team. If I wasn't a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I would play with him on Madden, but I play with the Chiefs nonstop. And see, Young Kenny said, we all know who the real best QB in the game right now is Jalen Hurts. You crazy as hell, and Kenny trolling early. He ain't even waste no time. He ain't even let it get to the second round. He said he coming in swinging from the get-go. Troll. I ain't gonna hold you, man. It ain't Jalen Hurts, though. And I fuck with Jalen Hurts, man. It ain't Jalen Hurts, though. I fuck with Jalen Hurts. Either way, I'm gonna let him keep going, man. Y'all, look, the link in there for y'all. Y'all want to talk y'all shit, man. Well, let's keep going, though. Let's see what they got.
Okay, he just happened to rush for a measly 900 yards. There's running backs all over this league that can't even put up that many.
Fact.
But those are the historic passing numbers. Fact check true, wouldn't you say?
No doubt.
No doubt. There we go. All right, so people have taken that soundbite.
I wonder if I do that. Nah, that won't work.
And Ryan
if
Clark.
I do that. Yeah,
because
I ain't
Ryan
doing that.
Clark had to. He had to admit that this is true. But he couldn't, trying to add these videos here on the fly, but he just had to dismiss it so quickly.
What Ryan did, man. I fuck with Ryan, man. What Ryan did.
Watch how quickly he moves on from these facts.
What you did, Ryan?
John Harbaugh is talking about the numbers bearing out that Lamar Jackson is historically one of the greatest passers that have ever lived, then that's true. But none of it matters. Mm-hmm. We all agree Lamar Jackson is one of the greatest talents to ever play any position in this league.
None of it matters? None of it matters? He's yes, it's true. He's a historically great passer, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when he was asked to move to wide receiver. It didn't matter when people were, for years, calling him a running back. It didn't matter when people were like, oh, well, he's only a good quarterback because of his rushing. And so finally he proves he's historically great at passing. Okay, fine, he is, but it doesn't matter. No, it matters because of what people have been saying about him for years. It matters, RC.
Since he came
into the
league.
I actually like that Stephen A. Smith calls him out for changing the topic.
One of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen. And still,
look at that shit, man.
He needs to win the big game. John Harbaugh recently said that the people who are saying
yards per attempt, touchdown, interception, total QBR, and then completion, he in the top 12.
And for the organization and for the team, that may be true. This is an organization that has 2 Super Bowls. This is a head coach that has a Super Bowl. There is a quarterback there that can make the argument that during his tenure as the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, he's the best player that's playing football that can't be counted as one of the greats because he hasn't not only won a Super Bowl, he actually hasn't won a big playoff game.
When I listened to RC just now, I mean, damn it, he was moving. Kevin, did you see him moving better than Michael Jackson?
That was unbelievable.
God rest his soul. I mean, moonwalking around the issue. It was absolutely spectacular.
We didn't
have this is not a conversation about how Lamar Jackson's got to get it done. It's a specific question. Top passes.
For one, Stephen A. called somebody else out on it. Bobby, your reaction to John Harbaugh and now RC?
And before old buddy say something, like Ryan, I'm actually on the side of these guys right here talking about it because I didn't watch this shit all the way through, y'all. So I'm seeing it for the first time with y'all. But like Ryan, they were talking about him being a passer. I don't watch ESPN, bro. That channel is trash, especially once Disney bought it. But it's about him being a passer. And we gotta actually pay attention. And I believe Ryan got caught up in the same narrative that we put on certain people, man. Y'all keep hearing people talk about Justin Herbert out there in Charger land. I forget where they at right now. They in San Diego or some shit, or they somewhere else now. I can't remember. I don't really care. They're non-fucking factor to me. But people constantly put Justin Herbert in the top 10s, and they always argue for him to be in the top 10 about how good he is at throwing the ball. Look at the angles, the arm strength, and all this. This boy can't even win a fucking playoff game. But he gets more praise and less negativity than somebody that's a 2-time MVP in the league. Like, people need to really open their eyes and pay attention to how certain players get a certain criticism while others just get to gloss by and they're way worse. And that's when people like me call that shit the fuck out. I hear it all the time, man. I hear people talking about G Herbo. Man, that boy, that boy be slinging. That boy ain't won fucking nothing. Did nothing. Couldn't even get out the first round. And people put him on a higher level than somebody like Lamar Jackson. That's a spit in the face of what we're actually watching. It's the same thing like what happened with Shador in the draft. It's the same thing like what happened in the draft. Oh, they in LA? They in LA? I appreciate that. Can you say they in LA, a city, a known city unlike Missouri? Hating. That boy hating. But nah, man. It just don't make no sense, man. And people need to pay attention, man, because they did the same shit to the Shador. And they gonna do that same shit out there in Cleveland. I know some people are happy that the motherfucker gonna start the first preseason game. The only reason they starting that dude is because everybody else hurt. If it was off of talent, he'll be starting. But they ain't doing it off of talent. They doing it off of we gonna prove something to this man and show his daddy something. We already know what the fuck it is, especially me, people like me over here on this side that can see reality for what it is. See, and Kenny also said, my bad, they're a known city in a known state, unlike a city in an unknown state like Missouri. I ain't from Missouri, so I ain't got to defend that shit, man. I only got to claim Florida and Alabama, and I don't like claiming Florida either. But either way, though, let's keep riding.
It's got to feel good for Stephen A. to not be in the line of fire when it comes to Lamar. But Ryan's been teetering lately, Sarah. He's for so long was sort of the face of the Lamar Jackson level-headed movement when it comes to takes on the national level. But
no, not when he was saying that Kyler Murray would be better than him. They would win the Super Bowl with Kyler Murray if it were him instead of Lamar.
Well, that's the worst age.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Aging incredible.
Yeah, he did say that, y'all. That was crazy.
Where he's stuck his neck out there, gone to bat for him time and time again. Recently, that's not been the case. Look, John now back-to-back summers has made big statements. Last summer, if you remember, we all do, he said, we're striving for Lamar to be the greatest that's ever played this game. And he stood tall on that. And you can remember when he made that statement, that topic was on every single national network, including right there on First Take, and people made a major stink about it. Now, a year later, he makes another statement, which is factual. The other one was lofty and aspirational, I think is probably the right way to put it. This time, a lot of this, based on what you've already showed, is based on fact. And I appreciate John for standing. All this is premeditated. I mean, this.
And picture that, man. Like, y'all got to really think about this, man. Lamar got held by his own organization to the last minute about him getting a contract. When his contract ran out, his rookie contract had ran out. They went to the last minute before they gave him the money that he was asking for. And this man had already won an MVP. when they gave other quarterbacks in the NFL contracts after their second and third year maxes, signing them up. Yup, seeing it is good. With him, they kept playing like, we just don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know. They listen to outside noises and all this shit. And the dude proving it on the field, man. He doing what y'all are asking him to do. And you just comparing him to somebody else when your whole game plan doesn't even scheme up for him to do those things. Now, if you want that boy to sit back there and throw that bitch 50 times, I promise you he can. But that ain't how y'all schemed up. Y'all defense, it's kind of like how we do it in Alabama. The way Baltimore's football team is built, it's just like the University of Alabama. It's defense first, then the run game, then we pass the ball. That's how they're built. And it's like the ownership act like they didn't know how the coach was running the damn team, and then the boy got deemed for, he got criticized for that shit. It don't make no damn sense. But guess what? We got Mr. Listen in the building. He could drop some dimes on this shit because I know he know what the fuck. Man. Tell them people what it is, man.
You already know what it is, gang. Lamar to do, man.
Man, look, I'm getting tired of the Lamar Jackson hate, man. Tell them something.
Yeah. I think it's even though, man. I think just because of how the storyline goes, you know, he gonna have it hard like that, and I feel that's why he won the MVP, and that's why he continue to win. You gotta understand, man. His mom is his manager.
Yeah,
and his agent.
He ain't got no agent. His mama is agent.
You see what I'm saying? And so everything that his trajectory, the way he's going, he bet on himself, man. So I feel like the Super Bowl is gonna come. He got plenty of years left. He already won the MVP. He's done pretty much everything in the league already. You see what I'm saying? So I just feel at this point it's just surrounding him with the necessary pieces. You know, they got a running game now. So I feel like if you can get him a true number one receiver and a few more pieces on defense, man, they'll be all right.
Oh yeah, look. The sad part is like we talking like them motherfuckers. We talking like they down. Think about it. These motherfuckers made it to the goddamn the second round, and then they made it to the AFC Championship the year before. These motherfuckers averaging like 11 wins every season he playing. It ain't like the boy down. Like they talking like that's what I'm saying. They talking like him not winning a Super Bowl is the end all be all when some of their greats that they put up on Mount Rushmore never won a goddamn thing. And people need to put that into the equation. Like, why is this player being treated and talked about this way when this player that you hold up with so much honor? That's what I'm speaking on. And that's what I'm speaking on. And we got to say it loud and say it proud. Like, look, man, this ain't the time in America for us to keep our mouth closed about this shit. This ain't the time.
Yeah, man. He's the standard, man. He the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. And it's not even close.
Look, after last year, I'm not gonna argue with you. And I'm GOAT Mahomes all day. I hope that he come in and get off of these 2 down years and show everybody what it is.
I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so you know I'm a Jaden Daniels dude. I'm a Washington, but you know what I mean? Even our quarterback work out with this dude. It's like he's the prototype of today's quarterback. He's like the dual threat, and he's amazing passer. So how can you stop that?
And remember when that term came out, for all y'all young folks that don't know, when the term dual threat came out, it was viewed as a negative. Now you look at the NFL, everybody wants a dual threat quarterback. Everybody. The athletes are getting stronger. They're getting faster. These boys can get off that line and get to the quarterback. If that shit does happen, they want a quarterback that can extend that play and still make magic happen. That's what they want. but they demonize it just like before when they didn't want certain people playing quarterback. They said they IQ wasn't high enough. Look at the top of your league right now. Look at the top of your league when it comes to QBs. Like, come on, y'all. We got to call that shit the fuck out, man. Look, I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm going to say something about it, and people can get mad all day. I tell you, go talk to your folks. Go talk to your folks about that. Don't talk to me. Go talk to your folks, because your folks are the one who made an issue. Like, we got to be real, man. Hopefully, we can get some more coaches in there, man. They keep acting like these dudes can't coach. They can't be a head coach, but Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. Ain't never had a losing season. Think about that shit.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers hiring motherfuckers that was a high school coach with a losing record to be a head coach, an interim head coach, but a motherfucker can't get a job. Like, come on, man. Let's be real, bro. They playing in your face, bro. They pissing on you and telling you it's rain. I just look, man. I ain't trying to go deep into it and shit, but look, Uncanny trolling super hard. He said Jalen Hurts is the best QB.
Wow.
Look, I'm not gonna talk shit about my boy Jalen, but he is not the best QB.
Hell no. Look, if I had Saquon Barkley, shit, I wouldn't have to worry too much either.
Yeah, I will put Jalen in the top 10 because he got a similar rap that Lamar got. He got a similar rap that Lamar got coming into the league, but the difference is one look like they from the hood and one look like he from the suburbs. And they like
will
the one
get
from the
into
suburbs.
Jalen too. Jalen Hurts, ever since college, he's played under multiple offensive coordinators, man. So in my book, that does make him great. I will give you that. Every year you gotta learn a whole new playbook. Ever since college.
Nah, it wasn't even every year. Look, dude, this dude is probably the most humble, most kind-hearted player. I'm from Alabama. Everybody know I'm from Alabama. I root for the University of Alabama. Jalen Hurts waited in line to get his chance to start. He started for Alabama. He lost his job in the national championship.
Yeah, the
stayed on the team. Yeah, stayed on the team, y'all. Didn't leave, didn't transfer like all these other players. He stayed there and ended up getting Alabama back in the playoffs because Tua got hurt the year after that. Then he went to Oklahoma, had himself in the MVP, the Heisman race. He was at the award show about to almost win a Heisman. That boy is probably one of the most humble. He got drafted. They talked, can't throw the ball. He's a project. All this little shit. Man got a Super Bowl now. He got a Super Bowl. What was all that shit y'all was talking about? But you will hype up some people like, man, I don't even want to say these motherfucking names because it's like, man, like, bro, y'all putting fucking glory on people that ain't did a goddamn thing, ain't went through no adversity. Justin Herbert is the first one I'll go to. Trevor Lawrence, whatever happened to Trevor fucking Lawrence? When he gonna do something? But these
that dude, he the first overall pick. He went number one.
They proclaimed that young man Jesus when he came into college, and that boy can't even win a playoff game. But y'all talking about Lamar still. Lamar wasn't the number one draft pick. Lamar slid all the way to the end of the first round, and he get more criticism than a number one draft pick that's been in the league almost as long as him, if not the same amount of time. We gotta really look at what's going on, y'all. I ain't trying to be rude, but I'm just trying to be like, y'all motherfuckers better open your eyes and see what's going on around you. People playing in your face.
I will say, that motherfucker is on the hot seat, though. Trevor Lawrence. This year, he on the hot seat.
And that boy done signed another contract. They gave him his contract playing like shit. Think about that. They gave him his contract early and he was playing like shit.
Yep.
Lamar winning MVPs and had to wait till the last minute.
That's it, man. Politics,
we know what the fuck it is. We know what the fuck it is. It ain't no politics. Well, you could say it's some form of politics. But either way, let's hear the guy out. My bad. I had to stop on that one because I'm like, that's crazy, bro.
This is a calculated way of speaking about your franchise quarterback. And whether you go into it or not with an agenda, you're standing up for your guy. And he's done that since day one. And that's something I appreciate about the organization and their brass. So What do I make of it? The reaction is unsurprising. The way the team has handled this is in line with the trend that we've seen in recent summers.
You know, yesterday we just talked about Ryan Clark giving certain energy to Joe Burrow versus Lamar. It is crazy to me that these two clips are separated by 1 day.
And look what he said about Joe Burrow.
Where he says,
I'll
just play.
what he just said about Lamar.
Couldn't be further.
And it's Ryan Clark.
John
You know,
Harbaugh
he
talking
be
about the
rooting.
numbers bearing out that Lamar Jackson is historically one of the greatest passers that have ever lived, then that's true. But none of it matters. We all agree Lamar Jackson is one of the greatest talents to ever play any position in this league. He's one of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen, and still, he needs to win the big game. Joe Burrow takes none of the blame for the Cincinnati Bengals not making it to the playoffs. And you look at last year, and he's the best quarterback in the world, and it's not a conversation.
Way to splice that together there, partner. Way to be in your editing bag. Oh, that's so bad. That is like...
I know y'all saw that. And I'm just going to play this real quick, like, because it ain't.
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
Ryan can't sit on there. And I believe Ryan be rooting for folks, man. Look, sometimes he be locked in. But I'm like, bro, you can't on one hand dismiss everything Lamar did and say that who cares about this historic season he had? Who cares that he's in the top 3, top 2, possibly 1 greatest season of all time? We don't care about that. But then talk about a quarterback that ain't made the playoffs in 2 fucking years. And talk about it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. Like, what? Like, come on, man. We gotta keep ourselves centered, man. We all gotta hold ourselves accountable for the shit, man. If you're gonna grade somebody on one scale, you gotta grade everybody else on the same. If you're gonna grade Lamar for not winning a Super Bowl, well, guess what? Joe Burrow get it too. Because Joe Burrow ain't made it to the fucking playoffs in 2 years. Lamar consistently in the playoffs. Consistently.
And Joe Burrow got way better receivers too.
Way better. Not even close. He got arguably one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league.
Facts. I'm trying to be nice, but fact.
Man, look, I'll take Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase, but Jamar Chase is another beast, man. I know people that will take Jamar. And that not to mention T. Higgins. He a 2 that's really a 1 on a team with a better 1. I'm like, come on now. And look, let's not forget when they had Joe Mixon in the backfield. Because Joe Mixon wasn't no slouch. Joe Mixon was running that thing. He was always in the top 5 every year in rushing yards. Their offense is explosive. It's been explosive. It's always going to be explosive. But if that doesn't equate to wins, if that doesn't equate to getting into the playoffs at the bare minimum, how the fuck you going to put that quarterback above somebody that done won MVPs? Make it make sense. And that's what I want people to truly open their eyes to, man. Like, for real, man, look at what the fuck. See, Kenny said Joe Burrow is better than the big 3. If you say so, Kenny, look, I know what his talent is, man. But if that's the case, if we're grading on talent, that's one thing. But when people make arguments and that's where Ryan Clark fucked up. He brought in outside of talent. He brought in accomplishments. But he didn't bring in accomplishments when it came to Joe. That's the problem. Because Lamar threw it better than Joe Burrow last year. He had more touchdowns, less interceptions, better completion percentage. Got criticized. Joe Burrow, less everything, didn't make the playoffs, got praised. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It'd be something different if they compared him to like Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a little pat because the motherfucker won the thing. He won the thing, so obviously he did what he needed to do. But you talking about the motherfucker that he didn't get an invitation to the dance.
I mean, but real talk, I know Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that shit ain't recognized as great. They just manage the game not to lose the shit.
There you go. It's a lot of them. A lot of them that they put up on a pedestal. They put them up on a pedestal. They wasn't nothing but a game manager. Nothing but a game manager. I'm like, man, we got to give people that respect, man. We got to stop taking people down, man. And Ryan, he usually be on top and right about these topics most of the time, and he stick up for the people that need to be stuck up for. But man, look, they got you red-handed, bro, and they about to talk about it. And I'm gonna let them go ahead and get it off their chest because they got you, man. They got you.
Red-handed, baby. You got caught red-handed, and to your point, you didn't even have to go into the archives. You didn't have to deep dive for timestamps and what you bookmarked months ago. It was back-to-back, baby, and belly to belly, back-to-back, and you got him, didn't you? Oh, didn't you ever?
1 day apart. The energy for a quarterback that hasn't been to the playoffs in 2 years is the best quarterback in the world last year, and he deserves no blame. This other quarterback that has been to the playoffs every single time he's healthy, including the last several years, is a 2-time MVP, and now is being shown that he's a historically great passer, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for Lamar. No blame for Joe Burrow. It's unreal. It's unreal in back-to-back days.
In his tracks. Red-handed.
Oh my gosh. Okay. One other person that had a little bit of a meltdown, if you will, about John Harbaugh's statement is, to no surprise, as you said, you haven't been surprised, is Nick Wright. He is having a hard time with John Harbaugh's statement.
Shit, they got my boy Nick Wright, man. I fuck with Nick Wright, man. When Nick done fucked up. I know he fucked up. They about to get him, bro. I'm sorry. Let's watch it, y'all. Nick, no.
Greatest quarterback to ever play involves leadership, intangible toughness, and his running. He's now saying, throw all that aside. Just pure passing. He's as good as anyone there's ever been. And even the biggest Lamar Jackson fans, I think, don't think he's one of the 10 greatest passers that's ever played. He had an unbelievable season. I don't think, Brew, you think he's, again, I'll do it again.
We'll see.
Mahomes.
I love Brew. He's like, even Ravens fans, Brew, even you would agree.
Look at the smirk on his face right there.
So you want to let Brew cook? You want me to let Brew cook? Because like he finally gave the floor to Brew, and Brew's like, nah, let me tell you.
One thing I'll take issue with what he says is as great. I don't know if it's as great.
As good
He's
as
thrown it as good as any passer there's ever been. So that's like no one's ever thrown it better.
Yeah.
But when he says historically great, now initially it does sound crazy because of the questions about Lamar when he entered the league, the struggles he had at points earlier in his career, at points, not every single year, of course. The fact that he's a great runner and he's known more really for his running until maybe last year as far as a quarterback, and the struggles that he's had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The statement wasn't about Lamar being steely. It wasn't about Lamar having these winning chops. Like, no one's had more winning chops than Lamar. The statement is about him throwing the football. And Harbaugh even said it, the numbers are starting to bear that out. Like, look at these numbers. This is in the Super Bowl era. This is where Lamar ranks all time. 3rd greatest passer rating in the Super Bowl era, 3rd highest TD percentage, 5th in interception percentage, and 5th in yards per attempt. The 2 guys ahead of him in passer rating. Here they are, Aaron Rodgers and
Nah, we got to go back to that stat right there, y'all. This is all time since the NFL started having a Super Bowl. This is his career stats. Bruh, 3rd in passer rating, 1st in touchdown percentage, 5th in interception percentage. So that means he the 5th best person with not turning the ball over. And he 5th in yards per pass, 7.8. Like, bro, what are y'all talking about? Saying this dude can't throw the ball. Them all passing stats. That's crazy, bro. And that dude get more criticism than a motherfucker that can't get to the fucking playoffs. He get more criticism than a G Herbo that get put out in the 1st round every goddamn year. He get more criticism than a Jimmy Garoppolo on a super stacked team like San Francisco before he got his ass kicked up out of town. Look. Once again.
That ain't right. It ain't right.
Man, people open your eyes, man.
and 5th in yards per attempt. The 2 guys ahead of him in passer rating. Here they are, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's never going to throw for a ton of yards because they don't throw it. He does not throw it.
And he only behind my boy Patty by 0.1%. 0.1, not 1%. 1/10 of that point.
How much you want to bet? Because he got 915 yards rushing last year. I bet you he get over 1,000 this year. He gonna rush for more.
But he
gonna pass. He gonna pass for more. He gonna rush for more, and he might throw equal to or less interception. I guarantee you. Watch. He gonna shatter all them. He gonna shatter all that shit, bro.
Now I tell you this. I'm rooting for my Chiefs to win it all, but I'll be honest with you. I think him and that Baltimore Ravens team could very possibly win it this year. I'm not.
This their year.
I'm a fan of talent. I'm a fan of talent, man. And I won't knock nobody when I see him doing good. Like, they could do it this year. Look, he gotta elevate himself when it comes to the playoffs. But he's already shown.
That's the only thing. The playoff Lamar ain't.
It's still good. It's better than a lot of others, but they just ain't winning these games.
It is, but at the same time, I done seen
we
that
need regular season.
Look lost. Like he don't know what the hell to do.
He need to translate that regular season play to the playoffs, and once he figures that out,
it's hard though, because when you got a whole, a lot of time to prepare for one team and lock in on what your tendencies are, and you specifically, you know what I mean? It's hard, man. It's hard to overcome.
No. I didn't seen him do it. He just came out with an L. I've seen him do it. You know why I seen him do it? Because they played Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. And I watched that shit. And I was like, man, bro, this game gonna come down to whoever get. Yeah, I'm like, this game gonna come down to whoever get the ball last. Because that's how lethal they were on offense. Man, they both was binking around the field. That's all they were doing. Both of them. Bink, 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 and the ball off. Bink, 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 and the ball off. So I'm like, I know he got it in him, man. I know he got it in him. And I want to see him win one. The only problem is that I ain't worried
about him winning. I know he gonna get one before his career over. I ain't worried about Lamar. He is great. He can't beat the whole goddamn team, bro.
Hell no. In the same,
you know what I mean? You look, the numbers can't argue, bro. How can you argue with that? How much better can you do? You can't do no damn better than that.
And picture this. You said it earlier, Mr. Lester.
Yes,
he ain't even got a true number one, and he doing them numbers.
He got scrubs, man.
Picture that contrast. He don't got a number one, and y'all comparing him to a player that has two number ones. And he's still putting up better numbers than that dude. Think about that shit, man. You giving this man lemons and he making lemonade.
Yep. That's why I say, man, they a player like that. They don't want to give him. They'll give him a running back before they give him a receiver.
Dude, I'm very.
Because even with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, they still got AJ Brown and Smith.
Smith.
You see what I'm saying? So they
good. Alabama boys.
So you need a number one receiver, and you need a running back that can run that rock, man. It's a team effort to win a championship. Yeah, and you need a defense that's hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, man, you need 22 players all lock in at the bare max. At the max, man, at the bare minimum, you need 22. But at the max, you're going to have like 27 of them boys lock in, coaching staff and everybody. Yeah. See, Kenny, I know he's
how many MVPs Aaron Rodgers don't won?
I think he got 4 or 5.
Look at that, bro. Super talented, then got a Super Bowl. Super talented. But
and he only got
he only won one because that team he was on was all world, man.
Mm-hmm. And it was right at the right time. You see, I can't say that.
Right time.
He said, you know what's even crazy?
He ain't even been close since, bro.
No. Look, you got to take advantage when you get the opportunity. Fucking Uncanny said, you know what's even crazier? That Lamar would have done a better job in the Super Bowl. Man, he trolling. I ain't even finna dive into your trolling, Uncanny. I know how to deal with it. Let's roll the tape.
He has had, and this is another reason it sounds crazy, because he doesn't throw the ball a lot.
Right.
He's thrown it 500 times, never in his career. He's never had a season throwing 500 passes or more. Mahomes, 6 out of his 7 years has thrown it 500. The one he didn't, he only played 14 games. So that just shows you. But the reason he doesn't pass it is not because he can't throw it. Early on, maybe. But now it's because the dude is such a great runner. Oh, and now we got Derrick Henry too. So, and here's the other thing, Nick. He put up those numbers and has never had a great wide receiver.
Well, but that's a little chicken and the egg.
Okay, here's what's hilarious that's also a day apart, Bobby. Because there he is throwing up all the facts, right? He went through all the numbers. We know them. But then the final statement that he's done it without great receivers. And then you hear Nick chime in, well, that's chicken or the egg. So he's trying to be like, well, is it because he doesn't have great receivers because Lamar hasn't developed them? I'm not joking. Earlier this week, this is just the RC energy that we just talked about. Earlier this week, Nick Wright was tipped or maybe it was last week, tipped that the Ravens are ranked the #1 roster. And he was talking about how bad the receivers are. And now he's like, oh, wait, now wait a minute. Now the receivers being average is going to hurt my argument that he's a great passer historically, and I'm not trying to down talk Zay Flowers or Rashad Bateman because they are some of the best receivers that the Ravens have ever drafted, and they just keep getting better. But they're not Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're not Justin Jefferson. They're not some of the greats. Hopefully they can keep going. And so that was just another fact that Brew put out there. But Nick Wright had to go through mental gymnastics again because he can't handle that. Yes, he's a historically great passer, and he's done it without the greatest wide receivers in the league.
I'll tell you exactly what Nick said this week to expand more on what you just alluded to there.
Okay.
He referred to Zay as a below average #1. He referred to Rashad as a below average #2. That's almost word for word earlier this week. So these guys do realize that when you do a show, these clips do exist. It's the internet.
Social media remembers.
Does Ryan know that? I think he knows that.
And look, y'all hold me to it too. If I make a terrible take, make a terrible call on this shit, man, fucking clip that shit and bring it back, throw it in my face. I ain't got no problem with nobody telling me I told you so. And I fuck with Nick Wright. But Nick, if he said that shit, like, bro, you can't argue both sides of it. You can't argue both sides. You can't say that he ain't got no good receivers to diminish one argument and then try to say, well, his receivers are good to diminish another argument. Like you gotta pick one side of the aisle you want to be on, bro. You can't pick both sides of it. We don't argue off both sides of our neck round here, y'all. Like the dude got terrible receivers and you diminishing the squad in the receiving core, then you can't take away from that boy putting up them numbers if you say them receivers that good. But then when it come down to admitting that he that good, you
matter of fact, not only can you say that makes the numbers even more impressive.
It does. It puts you in that Tom Brady category, like they like to say. Tom made Julian Edelman. Tom Brady made Gronk. Tom Brady made everybody he had in the receiving corps besides Randy Moss. You got to put him in that category. Even though I don't believe motherfucker make nobody. I believe that you got players that don't get an opportunity to shine, and they show what they got when they get with the right quarterback. It's the same thing like when you get on the basketball court. You can be the greatest point guard, but be on a team where no matter who you pass it to, they always gonna miss. You ain't gonna be considered a good point guard, but let me put Shaq on your team, and you can just drop it down low. Motherfucker, they might put you in. In fact, they might call you John Stockton.
Case in point, man. 76ers and the Lakers in the finals, man. Allen Iverson.
Look at this. John Stockton. I'm talking about somebody that ain't really as good as they like to say he is.
Yeah.
Put him with somebody that's really good.
Yeah.
John Stockton, whole career, he's a Hall of Famer off of Karl Malone. And I know somebody gonna get mad about that. I know people gonna get mad about that. But be real, bro. John Stockton ain't getting selected #1 to start on anybody's team as a point guard.
Man, they call it, that's Mr. Assist right there. Pass the ball.
No, pass the ball. Give it to Carl. He was the all-time leading scorer in NBA history until LeBron eclipsed his ass. And that's who was giving him the ball. And motherfucker want to elevate it. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not taking it away because he did that. Because sometimes you can luck up into a great situation. But like, come on, bro. You ain't gonna put that motherfucking, ain't nobody putting that motherfucking John Stockton in the top 5. Ain't nobody putting that boy up there. Because we watched the game. And we can keep it real. So we need to keep it real when it come over here to the football field too, man. Right in that gridiron.
No, because the quarterback, that standard is completely different.
People look, man,
it shouldn't be, but it is.
It's the last saving grace of these folks. Because the only sports that really matter in America is football and basketball. We can just be real. Those are the only sports that really matter. People say baseball is a pastime. Most people don't watch fucking baseball. Most people ain't watching fucking soccer. And I love soccer. It's my favorite sport. Ain't nobody really watching hockey unless you live in a city like that and you got a family member that's into that shit. Like basketball and football are the two sports. And football has always been a sport that's been very politically charged when it came to like what's going on in society. The football world would emulate it because the owners were some of the same people that agree with what the fuck was going on with society. That's why we saw the whole shit with the kneeling shit. You know, when there was Black Lives Matter and people were kneeling, Jerry Jones came right out and said, man, you kneel, you can get the fuck off my team. Like, it's always been politicized. It's always been very political. So I'm like, I get it, man, but like, damn, when the fuck y'all gonna, like, that shit ain't got old? It ain't got old for you yet? It ain't got old yet? It's like you been fucking the same pussy for 67 years, bro. That shit ain't got old yet, man. That shit should be dry by now.
Oh, man.
That shit should be dry by now, man. But either way, let them finish it out, man. Because the motherfuckers ain't lying, bro. They ain't lying with what they saying.
I'm sure he does, but I don't know. Opinions change every day. I do want to put in one last clip because I think this is important and this is not any gotcha moment or whatever. Once Stephen A. Smith got Ryan Clark back on track, they were discussing the difference between a thrower and a passer. Okay, and I think I actually agree with this one.
Yeah, what's the difference?
With Ryan Clark,
a thrower
whether
and a passer.
Discussing whether somebody's a good passer versus a good thrower. So here's what they have to say there.
No, listen, because here's the thing. I know a lot of people that can throw that can't pass, right? We say completing a pass. We don't say completing a throw because passing the football is about what the actual success rate of the pass is. It's not, hey, I'm back here, I throw, it looks the right way, I'm just sitting in the pocket, right? So when Sam Hubbard rushes Lamar Jackson and he stiff arms him to the ground and he rolls out and he completes a pass for a touchdown, that's not just about the throw. That's about completing the pass. So like when you look at the way they threw the football, it was one thing, but when you go to passer of the football, that's why Aaron Rodgers climbs to the top of the list, is because his ability to push the football, be great statistically, but also not turn it over. And Lamar Jackson has also mastered that. How can I be great with the football? How can I be aggressive with the football, but also protect the football? That's part of passing. And I think Kevin was getting there as well. As great as Lamar is as protecting the football and producing in the pass game, let's not just say in throwing the ball.
Look at them numbers for the guy that he said is above him. He put Joe Burrow in front of him. Joe Burrow got 2 more passing touchdowns, 5 more interceptions, and I don't want to do the math on that, but almost 1.3. It is actually 1.3 less yards per attempt. So he losing in 2 categories, and we not even gonna take into account Lamar's 4 rushing touchdowns that put him at 45. Because Joe Burrow ain't got no rushing touchdowns. And you put Joe in front of him? You put Joe in front of him? Now, I ain't gonna argue if you talk about against Mahomes, against Josh Allen or something like that. I give you that. That's like you having somebody that averaged 30 points in the league and another motherfucker averaged 28. But the motherfucker that averaged 28 averaging 28, 10, and 10. And the motherfucker that averaging 30 averaging 34 and 5. It's like, bitch, I'm giving to the motherfucker that averaged 28. He give me 10 rebounds and 10 assists. Like, what are you talking about? He's giving me more. That's crazy, bro. Like, that's crazy, man. You can't put...
The early, let's go first half of Buffalo, that's where he lost it a little bit, right? He had a great second half. And so for Lamar, with Molly asking, can he win a championship? I think this is the year.
Yeah.
finally comes around. But the reason why I wanted to play that, Bobby, is because a lot of times people will be like, Lamar's a great passer. What about, and they'll look at like the statue quarterbacks, right? And that they just, stand there and maybe throw a beautiful spiral or whatever, but they can't do what RC just said with like this stiff arm and I'm running and I'm creating something new. And we see that almost every week from Lamar. And so it's like, what's a historically great passer? Somebody who just stands there and quickly gets the ball off and has a ton of volume, who is passing more than 500 times in a season where Lamar's not, or somebody that's historically effective and efficient while stiff arming and extending plays and this and that. And so I do think that if somebody wanted to argue that somebody else has a prettier ball or just as a statue or this and that you're talking about, in RC's words, a thrower versus somebody that's just going to get the job done and making sure the completion is there and that you're gaining yards and you're gaining touchdowns. That is Lamar Jackson.
My final footnote was just going to be expanding right on what you just said, the efficiency note, because that's probably Lamar's maybe best calling card in all of this, is that he has become ridiculously efficient. And if you think about, if he were to be asked, or if the scheme were to change at one point in his career where he is tossing it more than 500 times a year, what that efficiency does, it could go both ways. He may not become as efficient because that's just a bigger sample size, or it could go the opposite with the way that this offense is built around him. He could be even more efficient. So good breakdowns there. A lot of it is not surprising. You caught him red-handed. I really enjoyed the spliced video. Hopefully everybody did as well.
NBA veteran Marcus Morris has just been arrested at a South Florida.
Oh, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about Marquise Morris. We ain't talking about Morris right now. We ain't talking about him another day. Damn. But look, man, I do got to call this out. And this is where I think NFL and NBA analysts start throwing in bullshit to try to make it seem like they're saying something that's great or something that's complicated and very technical that the average person doesn't know about. For me to pass the ball, I have to throw it. For me to pass the ball in the NFL, I have to throw it. And they're saying there's a difference between passing and throwing. That's just the same thing. It's the same motherfucking thing, bruh. You just using different words to explain what the fuck you're doing. One's a better passer, but one's a better thrower. What the fuck does that mean? I'm confused because I played the quarterback position. What the fuck does that mean? Help me out, Mr. Listen, man. Help me out, man. Look, you gotta help me. Look, I'm confused.
That's some new shit people create, man. We all know that. We all know that's the same thing, man. That don't make no sense. It's the same thing.
Man, throwing the goddamn football, that make him a pass. But the act of him throwing makes him a passer. If he passes the ball, that he threw it. It's like what? It's the same thing.
Right.
I don't understand that nonsense. And they tried to break it down, and Stephen A was trying to act like he was because in the beginning he looked like he didn't even know what the fuck Ryan was talking about, but he wanted to be like, okay, he's saying something in depth. Yeah, I need to act like I know what he's talking about. Man, bro, Ryan Clark didn't play offense, and he damn sure didn't play no quarterback.
Ryan is dumb, bro.
I fought with Ryan, but I'm like, you wrong on this one, bro.
Not
You
really,
wrong as
bro.
fuck.
His takes lately starting to sound Skip Bayless-ish.
Ooh, yeah. Well, see, that's a good thing.
I know, like his tone is really changing. The more he on TV, bro.
Hey, look, them bosses up top at Disney might be talking to him.
Fuck with his takes like that.
Look, I don't watch ESPN, so I would defer to your judgment on that shit. I don't watch them. I don't watch, so I defer to you on that one because like, bro, that ain't it, man. You can't compare somebody to somebody that didn't even make the playoffs to somebody that actually made it to the second round. Like, he won a playoff game last year, man. Like, Lamar won a playoff game. You talking about a quarterback that didn't even make it to the playoffs.
He probably put Burrow above him maybe because he made it to the Super Bowl. That's the only thing.
Living on. Yeah, but think about it. You're going to live off of somebody making it to a Super Bowl and losing.
Right.
Is that more valuable than somebody winning an MVP?
That's the only thing valid that you could come up with because it show ain't the numbers.
Because I'm saying, really think about it. if that is the case, Ryan Clark is pretty much saying that he values a Super Bowl appearance more than an NFL league MVP season. He values just getting to the Super Bowl over you being the best player in the whole fucking league. And a lot of other people do. They do. And it's like, man, okay, so what? Let's say Lamar get to the Super Bowl and lose. Are they going to still keep talking shit about him? And we all know they will.
And no, they probably talk worse shit about him because he lost.
When he get to the big dance, he keep proving that he can't do it. It's right. I like the same thing about your boy Joe Burrow. They only made it that one time, motherfucker. Like, goddamn, at least that boy got some luggage with him. That motherfucker just got kicked out the plane with nothing on it. He ain't got a shirt on his back. But this man got a whole fucking luggage suit. He's suited and booted. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's be real, man. We got to call this shit out when we see it, man. Look, it's a double standard by how we grading these quarterbacks, man. And look, when you see greatness, man.
Lamar, though, man, he got plenty of time to get him one. He that great.
He that dude, man.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no number one receiver, man. If don't nobody see that shit, they don't know football.
They damn sure don't. When I be hearing some people talk about shit, I'm like, bro, you don't watch the game, bro.
No.
You watch daytime fucking sports commentary and you just go off of whatever the fuck they say. You don't watch sports for real, man.
Yeah.
But look, he gonna check it. We gonna do a quick spin off, and I'm gonna show a few. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but we gonna show a few, man. Look. These some unbreakable college football records. Unbreakable. And if we run across one, Mr. Lister, you tell me if you think it'll be broken. I want to give a shout out beforehand to Football Explainer. If y'all want to go check his channel out, go check him out. I'm gonna show it up on screen, man. If y'all want to go check him out, man, go check him out. Salute to him for this video. But college football records that will never be broken. And if you see one you think will be broke, yell at me. We ain't going through the whole thing. So either way, though, let's go and jump into it.
Barry Sanders, 2,628 rushing yards in a season. This isn't just a college football record. It's one of the greatest athletic feats in American sports history. In 1988, Barry Sanders wasn't just a running back. He was a human cheat code. Playing for Oklahoma State, he shattered every expectation, every defensive scheme, and every record book in sight. And he did it as a junior in just 11 games. Here's the thing that makes this record almost mythical. He was a backup the year before. Thurman Thomas, a future NFL Hall of Famer, was the starter, and Barry quietly waited behind him. Then 1988 arrived, and the quiet kid from Wichita, Kansas exploded.
I wasn't even fucking born.
Into the national spotlight. In just 11 regular season games, Barry Sanders rushed for 2,628 yards, averaging almost 240 rushing yards per game. If you include his bowl game, the total jumps to 2,850 yards. But the raw numbers don't even tell the whole story. He wasn't running through massive holes untouched. He was juking entire defenses out of their shoes, making 3 guys miss in a 5-yard window, and hitting top speed in 2 steps. His change of direction looked like something out of a video game. He also scored 37 total touchdowns, again, in just 11 games, and won the Heisman Trophy in a runaway vote, even though most of the country barely saw him on TV. In today's media era, Barry would have broken the internet every weekend. Since then, no one has come close. Samaje Perine.
You think that one could get broken? 2,600?
Hell no.
And he did that in 11 games, bro. That's crazy, because they playing 16 now.
Yeah.
And them niggas ain't getting close to that shit already.
I don't think nobody break this record here either.
Yeah, I'm ready to see this. That's 427 in a game?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, let's see this shit.
427 rushing yards in a game. On November 22nd, 2014, just 1 week after Melvin Gordon broke the single-game rushing record with 408 yards, Oklahoma's Samaje...
And that motherfucker, Melvin Gordon, I remember that game, he broke that shit in the snow. He broke that bitch in the snow, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that shit.
All right, I'm ready to see this shit.
Ryan went out and casually destroyed it. He was just a true freshman, 19 years old, built like a truck, but still new to college football. And that day against Kansas, the conditions were ugly. A game that screamed, run the ball, and Oklahoma did, over and over. Perine carried the ball 34 times, and turned that into 427 rushing yards and 5...
Bruh, 34 carries for fucking 427 yards?
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy. Like, that's some Madden stats right there.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. And 5 touchdowns. I'm sorry, y'all, for pausing. That's crazy. I don't think that record will be broken.
5 touchdowns.
Nah,
what made
bro.
it so unbelievable wasn't just the number, it was how easily he did it. The Kansas defense had zero answers. At 5'11" and 235 pounds, Pirine ran with a mix of power and patience. It looked like a high school varsity player scrimmaging against a junior varsity team. And here's the craziest part. He broke the record with 12 minutes still left in the fourth quarter. After a touchdown run, a 42-yard explosion, they pulled him from the game. No need to chase more. He had already done enough to rewrite college football history. Georgia Tech, 222-0 win over Cumberland, 1916. This isn't just a college football record, it's the most lopsided game in the history of the sport. In 1916, Georgia Tech defeated Cumberland College by a score of 222-0. It remains the largest margin of victory ever recorded in college football, and it happened under circumstances that will never be repeated. The game was scheduled as part of a pre-existing contract. Cumberland had already disbanded its football team earlier that year, but canceling would have come with a $3,000 penalty. So instead, they sent a last-minute group of students, most of whom had never played organized football. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, was coached by John Heisman and considered one of the strongest programs in the country. They ran a fast, physical offense and had no intention of slowing down. By halftime, the score was 126-0. Georgia Tech scored on nearly every possession and finished the game with 32 rushing touchdowns, over 900 total yards, and 0 pass attempts. Cumberland finished with negative rushing yards, 15 turnovers, and no first downs. The game was a mismatch in every possible way, and it's at a record that's never come close to being challenged. Modern rules now prevent games like this from happening.
Bruh, that was bruh, that's cruel right there, bruh. That's cruel.
Yeah, that's cruel.
That's crazy, bro. Like I when I was in Japan, man, we played a team over there and we beat them bitches like 100 and something to like 6 or some shit. And I felt bad about that shit at the end of the game because it was like, bro, they couldn't do nothing with us, bro. They couldn't do nothing with us. We knew they couldn't do nothing with us. And I felt bad at the end of that game, bro. Like, these dudes should have felt bad. I bet money ain't now. Nobody on that goddamn Georgia Tech team felt bad about that shit. 32 rushing touchdowns, 0 passes. Y'all were just running them dudes the fuck over the whole game. And think about it, this is when they had leather helmets. So you know they ain't had no head protection. They were probably busting them boys in their motherfucking face. That's fucked up, bro. I feel bad about that one, bro. I'm like, halftime, 126. Like, bro, call the game, bro. I'm like, call it, man. When we used to play soccer, we had a 10-0 rule. If it was 10-0 at any period in the game, whether it was the first half or the second half, bro, the game was over with. We used to fuck around and just try to do bullshit. When it was like 9-0, we would fuck around with some teams and just try to do like crazy trick shots and shit, just to practice and shit. These motherfuckers 126-0 at halftime? Bro, y'all, bruh, I don't think that'll be broken. 222 straight games? Yeah, I don't think that'll be broken in today's time. Not in this era.
Programs have stricter scheduling, better oversight, and mercy rules in place. A score this one-sided isn't He was a lightly regarded prospect from Abilene, Texas, who redshirted his freshman year and earned his way onto the field. But once he took over, he never looked back. He played in an offense that fully embraced the air raid philosophy, fast tempo, spread formations, and constant pressure on opposing secondaries. But the numbers weren't just about the system. Keenum had elite anticipation, touch, and an incredible football IQ. He could read defenses in real time and deliver strikes to every part of the field. And it wasn't a one-year explosion. He put up massive yardage season after season. Even after tearing his ACL early in 2010, he came back in 2011 and threw for over 5,600 yards in his final season at age 23, after being granted a medical redshirt. Across his 6-year career, Keenum threw for over 300 yards in 39 different games and surpassed 500 yards 10 times. His consistency was unreal. Even in today's era of pass-heavy systems, longer seasons, and elite quarterback talent, nobody's touched that number. Not Patrick Mahomes, not Joe Burrow, not even Bryce Young or Caleb Williams. Because to break Keenum's record, you'd need a rare mix of opportunity, health, and elite performance every single week for 5 straight years. Keenan Reynolds, 88.
Hold on, I gotta see what the hell his record was. What was his record? What was his record?
So it would mean a lot if you subscribed and dropped a like for the algorithm. Case Keenum, 19,000.
19,200.
Yeah.
He played fucking 5 seasons.
Right.
So I'm like, if you do 5 times 5, if he averaged 5,000 yards times 5 years, that would have been 25.
He probably averaged 4,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, him, like a player doing 4,000 a year, that record could be broken, but it's gonna take somebody to be in college longer, or somebody's gonna have to average 6,000 for fucking 4 years. But if you averaging 6,000 for 3, motherfucker, I'm a goddamn go to the NFL. It's like, why would
I'm averaging that in 2 years. I'm gone.
Yeah, like look, you can't leave after 2. That's the bullshit with football. Yeah. You got to play 3 years. That motherfucker played 5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put Case Keenum on the list. I wouldn't have put that on the list, but it is a record. It can be broken because a lot of these players right now they in the crust of, they still got that COVID year, and that shit's about to wear out in a couple more years. But somebody could have, because I know that dude that just got drafted, Shaw or whatever his name is. He was in college. I think he was like in college for like 7 years. Like 7 years?
7
he
years,
got drafted,
man. Please.
Dude, drafted at like 25, 26, 27. He like the dude a veteran already. But either way, though, I'm sorry. Look, that Case Keenum record, man. Look, that's circumstantial. That's a circumstantial record right there. But I believe it can be broken. Somebody can come in, but that's got to be somebody that wants to just stay for 4 years just to break that fucking record. But it can be broken.
Keenan Reynolds, 88 career rushing touchdowns. This isn't just a quarterback record. It's one of the most quietly dominant careers in college football history. From 2012 to 2015, Keenan Reynolds rushed for 88 touchdowns as the starting quarterback for Navy, the most in FBS history. Not by a running back, by a quarterback running the triple option. In an era defined by spread offenses and Heisman-level passers, Reynolds carved his own lane at a service academy that doesn't get the spotlight, but he made history anyway. Navy ran a strict option system. No gimmicks, no air raid, just tough, physical, assignment-based football. And Reynolds was the engine. He made the reads, took the hits, and turned broken plays into touchdowns. Over 4 seasons, he racked up over 4,500 rushing yards and became the face of Navy football in the modern era. His 88 career rushing touchdowns broke the previous record held by Monte Ball, and it still stands untouched. No quarterback has come close. Most don't even get enough carries, and most schools don't run anything close to Navy's system. Reynolds finished his career with 31 wins as a starter, multiple top 25 finishes, and legendary performances against Army, Notre Dame, and Pitt. And despite never being a Heisman finalist, he left with a stat line that may never be matched again, because to break 88 rushing touchdowns, you'd need a 4-year starter who never gets hurt, plays in an option-heavy system, and scores 2 touchdowns almost every game. That player doesn't exist right now, and might not ever again. David Klinger, 11 passing touchdowns in a single game. In 1990, Houston quarterback David Klinger threw 11 touchdown passes in one game against Eastern Washington. That number still stands as the most passing touchdowns in a single FBS game, and it was no accident. At the time,
like look, this picture, like you just letting them sling it, and it probably had to be. Look, I'm guessing it had to be a close game, or the other team was still in it. Yeah. So they left him out there to keep throwing it, because you already know once the team get up, they take the starters out. Be like, man, let the rookie get in here, the backup get up in here. Yeah. I'm gonna be surprised I won't be surprised if they were just dominating the team and they just let them stay in the whole game. I'm ready to see this shit. I'm ready to see how this shit play out, because now I'm guessing that's what it would have had to be for him to have 11. Because otherwise, it would have had to be a shootout.
Houston was running one of the most aggressive passing offenses in the country under head coach John Jenkins. It was a continuation of the run-and-shoot system that had already helped Andre Ware win the Heisman the year before. Klinger inherited the keys to a Ferrari, and he drove it like no one before him. Eastern Washington was an FCS opponent, and Houston didn't hold back. He finished the game with 41 completions for 572 yards, and those 11 touchdowns weren't cheap. They came on designed plays, executed at full speed. The record wasn't a fluke. Klinger would go on to throw 54 touchdown passes that season, setting the single-season record at the time. He was part of a revolution in offensive football, one that made defenses rethink how to cover the field. And yet, more than 3 decades later, 11 touchdowns in a game still hasn't been matched. In today's game, teams rotate quarterbacks more often. Blowouts lead to backups playing the second half, and even the most explosive offenses tend to balance things out, which means Klinger's record isn't just old, it's untouchable. Patrick Mahomes.
So that make it seem like they were blowing them bitches out and they just left them in the game. That's because when he made that comment about during blowouts they'll switch the quarterback out. I bet money that was a blowout game, and this left him in there. It's like, bro, just keep throwing, just keep throwing. Because usually they will take your player out, especially if you got aspirations for like a national championship or something like that. But that's probably during the BCS, where the computer decided who the hell was going to play for the national championship. So I can see that. But my boy Patty, man, I remember this shootout. Him against Baker Mayfield, bro. Him against Baker, bro. Look, I don't know if somebody going to beat this record right here.
819 total yards in a loss. This isn't just a record, it's paradox. In 2016, Texas Tech quarterback Patrick Mahomes accounted for 819 yards of total offense in a single game. That's the most ever by one player in FBS history, and somehow, they lost. The game was against Oklahoma in one of the wildest shootouts college football has ever seen.
I watched that
Final
game.
score, 66-59, Sooners win. But what Mahomes did that night was otherworldly. He threw for 734 yards, tying the FBS record for most passing yards in a game, and added another 85 yards on the ground. He touched the ball on nearly every play and was responsible for 5 touchdowns. And here's the kicker. He played through a shoulder injury. He was banged up, limping, and still launching 40-yard lasers off his back foot. Texas Tech ran over 100 plays. This was Mahomes before the MVPs and Super Bowl rings. Just a raw, fearless gunslinger trying to outscore everyone in sight. And while offensive numbers have exploded in recent years, no one's come close to 819 yards in a single game. Brandon West.
Motherfucker almost threw for 1,000 yards if you really want to try to round up. He almost threw for 1,000 yards in a game. It's 100 and something off, bro. Like, that's a straight shootout, bro. And I remember that game, man. That was a shootout game. Did you get a chance to ever watch that Oklahoma versus Texas Tech game? Bruh, I'm like, I ain't know who the fuck. That's when I found out who Mahomes was off of that game. I ain't know who the fuck he was, because everybody was talking about Baker that year. That's the year he won the Heisman. He grabbing his nuts, pissing and shit and all that woo stuff. And I'm like, man, Texas Tech about to whoop their ass. They about to knock him off. And boy, I'm like, I don't know who the hell this dude is in the backfield slinging for Texas Tech, but that boy nice. And they were still talking about Baker, man. Baker and them had a better team, and I'm like, damn, bro. I don't know. Do you think that record could get broke? You tell me, because I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think so, man.
817 yards in a game.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of fucking passing, bro. Either way, let's see the next one.
7,764 career all-purpose yards. From 2006 to 2009, Brandon West racked up 7,764 all-purpose yards at Western Michigan, the most in NCAA history. That includes rushing, receiving, punt returns, and kick returns. If there was a way to touch the football, West did it. He wasn't playing on a national title contender. He didn't have primetime TV slots or Heisman buzz, but every single game he chipped away at history. West was a true Swiss Army knife. As a running back, he rushed for over 1,000 yards in 3 different seasons. As a return man, he was one of the most dangerous weapons in the country, constantly flipping field position and breaking long runs. And as a receiver out of the backfield, he added another layer of production. What made this record possible wasn't just talent, it was availability. West played in 49 games over 4 years, rarely missed time, and took on a massive workload from day one. He wasn't a stat patter, he was a workhorse. Since then, plenty of explosive players have come and gone. Some had bigger single seasons, some had flashier highlight reels, but no one has matched West's total volume across all phases of the game. Because to break this record, a player needs to do everything for 4 straight years without missing a beat. And in today's game, where star players sit out bowl games, transfer, or head to the draft early, that kind of consistency is almost extinct. Niall Kinnick, only Heisman winner to die in World War II. In 1939, Niall Kinnick won the Heisman Trophy as a halfback for the University of Iowa. That season, he became a national symbol of excellence, both on and off the field. He wasn't just a great player, he was a scholar, a student body president, and a public speaker with a powerful presence. In his Heisman acceptance speech, he famously said, "I thank God I was born to the gridirons of the Midwest and not to the battlefields of Europe." Less than 2 years later, he was training to serve in World War II. After graduating, Kinnick joined the US Navy and became a fighter pilot. In 1943, during a routine training flight off the coast of Venezuela, his plane developed engine trouble. Rather than risk crashing into the carrier and endangering others, he attempted an emergency sea landing. He didn't survive. At just 24 years old, Niall Kinnick became the only Heisman winner to die in World War II. His legacy extended far beyond football. Today, Iowa's football stadium is named Kinnick Stadium in his honor. His name lives on not because of how many touchdowns he scored, but because of the life he lived and the sacrifice he made. Tom Harmon.
I say thank you for your service, which I probably guessing what type of person you was, but I guess during that time they didn't have ejection seats. Like, man, I guess it wasn't formulated during that time. I ain't look back during that time, but I'm like, look, you knew you wasn't gonna be able to land it on the carrier, bro. Like, bro, eject your seat, bro. Shoot that bitch in the goddamn ocean and fucking eject.
That shit probably malfunction. Shit probably ain't work properly.
Yeah, look, if the engine went bad, ain't no telling what else went bad in that motherfucker. Yeah. For a lot of folks that don't know, man, the military equipment, it sucks, bro. It's the bare bones of everything. Like, you get inside that motherfucker, bro, you will cut yourself, you will fuck your knee up. Just getting it. It's all metal and steel, bro. And look, you don't crank none of your vehicles with a key like this. You think you cranking some shit like that, bitch, you gonna hit a switch and you gonna hold another switch and that bitch gonna crank the fuck up. It's all diesel around here, baby. Like, it's on some other shit, bro. But and look, whatever the fuck, let's see what he got. Let's see what the next guy got.
5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and everything else. In 1939, Tom Harmon, the original superstar from the University of Michigan, put together a game that still doesn't seem real. Against Ohio State, in the final game of his college career, he scored 5 total touchdowns, intercepted 3 passes, punted, kicked extra points, and even handled kickoff duties. He wasn't just playing multiple positions, he was dominating them. On offense, Harmon ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for 2 more. On defense, he was a ball hawk, picking off 3 passes and shutting down the Buckeyes' air attack. On special teams, he did everything except sell popcorn at halftime. It was the kind of game you'd expect from a myth, not a real person. But Harmon was the real deal. That 1939 season, he led the nation in scoring, total offense, and all-purpose yards. He won the Heisman the following year in 1940 and was widely considered the most complete player of his era. No one has put together a game like that since. Because in modern football, players are specialized. A quarterback doesn't play safety. A running back doesn't kick. That's why no one will ever reach it again. Buffalo.
At least he said that at the end. Because players pick one position and they stick to it. They don't switch around. During that time, they were just trying to get people to be on the team. So I can see that record not being broken. Because it's not that. Honestly, I don't think that's that difficult. I played both sides of the ball on different teams before. So I'm like, bro, that's not. And then, basketball players, they play both sides of the ball regardless. You ain't got no choice. Once y'all shoot the ball, they bitch you on defense. But like in football, like, I didn't did that before. So I'm like, I ain't tripping on that. But it probably won't be broken because they're not going to allow you to even do that shit. Like, think about all the controversy that Travis Hunter got. They were talking about, is he going to be able to do it? And that boy, and we still don't know if he can do it. He going to try to prove it in the NFL, but he proved he could do it in college.
6 rushing touchdowns in a single quarter, 2020. Damn. This isn't a record from the early days of college football. It happened recently, and it happened fast. In 2020, the University at Buffalo scored 6 rushing touchdowns in a single quarter against Kent State. All 6 were scored by one player, Jarrett Patterson. It was one of the most dominant 15-minute stretches in the history of the sport. Buffalo ran a ground-heavy offense, and Patterson was their star. But what he did in the second quarter of that game was something else entirely. The offensive line opened lanes, and Patterson exploded through them. Kent State had no answer. By halftime, Patterson had already tied the record. By the end of the game, he had rushed for 409 yards and 8 touchdowns, tying the all-time single-game rushing TD record. But it was that second quarter, 6 touchdowns in just 1 quarter of play, that stamped his name in the record books. No other team has ever rushed for more in that span. And with the way modern coaches manage rest players, and ease off in lopsided games, it's hard to imagine this record falling. Donnell Pumphrey, 6,405 career rushing yards. From 2013 to 2016, San Diego State's Donald Pumphrey rushed for 6,405 yards, the most in FBS history. That number puts him above legends like Herschel Walker, Ron Dane, Ricky Williams, and LaDainian Tomlinson. And yet, Pumphrey's name rarely comes up in the conversation of all-time greats. But the numbers don't lie. He wasn't the biggest or the fastest. At just 5 feet 9 inches, 170 pounds, he didn't look like the kind of player who could carry the ball 300 times a year. But he did, year after year, and turned in production that no one could match. Pumphrey rushed for over 1,800 yards in back-to-back seasons, finishing with 2,133 as a senior. He also added over 1,000 receiving and return yards in his career, showing off his versatility as an all-purpose weapon.
Okay.
He wasn't just racking up yardage against weak competition either. He torched Power 5 defenses in bowl games, delivered in conference championships, and carried San Diego State to multiple double-digit win seasons. He knew how to set up blocks, find cutback lanes, and slip through tight spaces. Plenty of backs have had big seasons, but almost none have stayed healthy, stayed consistent, and stayed dominant for 4 full years. In today's game, most elite backs leave for the NFL early, others split carries, and very few ever get the opportunity to chase 6,000 plus yards. Bailey Zapp, 62 passing touchdowns in a single season. This isn't just a record-breaking season, it's the greatest statistical passing year college football has ever seen. In 2021, Bailey Zapp threw 62 touchdown passes at Western Kentucky, the most in FBS history. He broke Joe Burrow's record of 60, which had stood since LSU's historic 2019 season, and Zapp did it in just 1 year at the FBS level. Before that, he spent 3 years lighting up defenses at Houston Baptist, an FCS program. When he transferred to Western Kentucky, he brought his offensive coordinator, Zach Kitley, with him, and the results were instant. Zappe ran a lightning-fast air raid style offense that leaned into his strengths. Every possession felt like a 2-minute drill. Every throw had purpose. He finished the season with 5,967 passing yards, another FBS record, and 62 touchdowns in 14 games, including 6 in the bowl game that pushed him past Burrow's mark. But Zapp wasn't just padding stats. He was sharp, efficient, and almost impossible to throw off rhythm. And while offenses today are more pass-friendly than ever, no one has reached 62 since. To break Zapp's
Yeah, and the sad part, he ain't never got a real chance, and ain't nobody ever truly believed in him since he been in the league. Like, he ain't came in for a few games. I ain't seen him. But because I remember they were calling for Bailey Zappi a few years ago. I forget what team. I don't think it was the Cowboys. It might have been somebody else. But look. Some people have their highs in college, and they have their lows when they make it to the league. And I think motherfucker gonna have to live off that college career, because we still got folks. You ain't ran across dudes, man. Back in high school, I was that dude, bro. I was like, bro, that was in high school back 20 years ago, bro. You still living on that? Like, he probably gonna have to live off that college career, right?
Them glory days, boy.
I swear that's literally what they call them, glory days. All right, Bailey, I got you.
Record. You'd need the perfect quarterback, the perfect scheme, and a team willing to throw from week 1 through the bowl game without slowing down. That combination may not come around again for a long time. Howard Griffith, 8 rushing touchdowns in a single game. This isn't just a single game explosion. It's a record that stood for over 30 years, untouched by every great running back since.
Yeah, like it should be, because they said the last dude fucking had. Didn't they say the other guy had 8 rushing touchdowns? Hold up. Yeah, who was the guy? Okay, he had 6 rushing touchdowns in a single quarter. But I think he did say that the motherfucker had 8 at the end of it. Maybe he caught a pass for a touchdown or some shit. Because I'm like, what? I thought the motherfucker. Hold up, man. Hold up. I gotta double check this real quick. Like, I gotta double check this.
Falling. Donnell Pumphrey, 6,000.
All right, it's this one. All right.
Buffalo, 6 rushing touchdowns in a single quarter, 2020. This isn't a record from the early days of college yards and 8.
Yeah, he ended with 8 touchdowns. So then he had to catch the other 2 or something. Hold up.
Offensive line opened lanes, and Patterson exploded through them. Kent State had no answer. By halftime, Patterson had already tied the record. By the end of the game, he had rushed for 409 yards and 8 touchdowns.
There it is. That's 8 rushing touchdowns. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right. Hey, look. Oh,
That
man.
ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
We gonna have to figure this out. I want to see what he say to justify this one right here, because like you literally showed us somebody earlier that had 8 rushing touchdowns. Because I was about to say, did he catch some on? But it's like, no, the Associated Press put it out. Buffalo's Jared Patterson ties FBS. If he tied, so you putting 2 people that might be what he doing. Ties FPS single game record with 8 rushing touchdowns. I guess he put 2 people on here that they're tied for this. I guess he was running out of space, or he was just trying to act like he did some shit. Either way, though, here you go. Let's hear him out.
Howard Griffith, 8 rushing touchdowns in a single game. This isn't just a single game explosion. It's a record that stood for over 30 years, untouched by every great running back since. In 1990, Illinois fullback Howard Griffith scored 8 rushing touchdowns in a single game against Southern Illinois. It remains the most ever by one player in FBS history. And what makes this record even more shocking? Griffith wasn't the featured tailback. He wasn't known for speed or highlight runs. He was a fullback, built for power, short yardage, and blocking. But that day, he was unstoppable. Illinois dominated the line of scrimmage, and Griffith kept finishing drives, goal line plunges, short bursts, and punishing runs between the tackles. He finished the game with 21 carries for 208 yards and 8 touchdowns, averaging nearly 10 yards per carry. He didn't need 40 touches. He made every single one count. Since then, several players have scored 7 rushing touchdowns in a game, but no one has reached more than 8. Coaches pull starters.
What the fuck is he talking about? You showed us somebody that got 8. You showed. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't expect that. But he literally showed us somebody earlier that got 8 touchdowns. I don't know what the fuck. He literally showed us somebody, but I'm gonna let him finish it out.
Early, teams balance touches, and blowouts rarely last long enough to push a player that far. That's what makes Griffith's record so tough to break. Florida State, 14 consecutive.
I'm still not gonna let that one go, Miss Alyssa. Am I tripping, bro? But we did see him show somebody else that had 8 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, man, you tripping, man. You need to go back and do some editing.
Yeah, man. Look, hey, man. What was his name? Hey, look, Football Explainer, bro. Look, you gonna have to fix that right there, bro. You gonna have to fix that. I know you're gonna probably leave it up because you got some decent views off of that bitch. But hey, you put you need to fix that, bro.
Consecutive top 5 finishes. From 1987 to 2000, Florida State finished in the AP top 5 every single season. That's 14 years in a row, a level of dominance that no other program has matched before or since. It was the golden era of Seminole football, and it was built under one man, Bobby Bowden. With Bowden at the helm, Florida State became a machine, reloading every year with future NFL stars, competing for national titles, and winning almost every game that mattered. This streak wasn't built on soft schedules or conference mismatches. Florida State played anyone, anywhere, from Miami and Florida to bowl games against top-ranked teams. And they didn't just survive, they thrived. From 1987 through 2000, they went 152-19. They won 9 ACC titles, made 5 national championship game appearances, and captured 2 national titles in 1993 and 1999.
So they lost 3 out of 5.
The 1999 team even went undefeated. Wire to wire ranked number 1 from preseason to national champions. Every college football powerhouse has had its moment, but none have sustained it like Florida State did for over a decade. Derek Thomas, 27 sacks in a single season. In 1988, Alabama linebacker Derek Thomas recorded 27 sacks in a single.
Well, I don't believe that one right there get broke, because that's 27 sacks. Bro, you got to be a beast, and you got to have the luck roll your way, bro. 27 sacks? With the way these guys is on the line now? Bro, I don't know. Let me see how he got it.
Season. That's the most in FBS history, and it's not even close. Thomas wasn't just fast. He was explosive off the edge, with a first step that made offensive tackles panic. He had perfect timing, elite bend, and an unstoppable motor. Every snap, he was in the quarterback's face before the play could develop. And this wasn't in some pass-happy era, either. In the late 80s, college teams ran the ball far more than they passed. Offenses were slower, more physical, and still, Thomas lived in the backfield. He had multiple games with 4 or more sacks, including a 5-sack performance against Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl. And even when he wasn't bringing quarterbacks down, he was altering plays, forcing fumbles, blowing up blocking schemes, and setting the tone from the first quarter on. Today, the game is faster, quarterbacks get rid of the ball quicker, and defensive rotations limit snap counts. Even elite pass rushers rarely hit 15 sacks in a season. To get near 27, you'd need dominance, durability, and a scheme built entirely around one man. Derek Thomas had all of it, and used it to perfection. Oklahoma, 47 game-winning streak. From 1953 to 1957, the University of Oklahoma won 47
So they played, 16 games in college? And the record's 47? So they would need at least 4 seasons. 4 seasons straight. At the bare minimum, 12 wins. I believe somebody can break that record. I believe, since they added an extra game, I believe somebody can break that record. You got 4 seasons. Actually, you need 13. You need 13. Because if you just did 12, it'll be 46. But look, 12 and a half. 12 and a half wins, which you can't really do 12 and a half. You at least need 2 seasons of 13. You can break that record.
Straight games under head coach Bud Wilkinson. That's 4 full seasons without a single loss, across multiple rosters, multiple quarterbacks, and dozens of ranked opponents. And they didn't just scrape by, they dominated. Oklahoma outscored teams by an average of 30-plus points, shut out opponents regularly, and controlled every game with a brutal mix of discipline and physicality. Wilkinson's teams ran the split T offense with surgical precision and played suffocating defense. They weren't flashy, they were flawless. During the streak, they won 3 national championships, produced multiple All-Americans, and built the foundation for Oklahoma's powerhouse reputation. But what makes this streak unbreakable today is the structure of modern college football. Today's game is built for chaos, with conference championship games, playoff systems, early draft departures, and constant media pressure. Even the best programs slip up. Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia. None have come close to 47 in a row. You need elite talent. You need coaching consistency. You need luck with injuries. And you have to win every week for over 3 years. John Reeves, 9.
Well, shit, if you said 47 in a row, it won't get broken. Because you gotta win, you gotta go undefeated. I don't see teams going undefeated year after year. So yeah, I feel you on that. It won't get broken if that's the case. I thought he was saying 47 over a 4-year period. But if you got to go undefeated, yeah, that record probably ain't getting broken. It probably won't. And this record probably won't either. And it's a negative record.
Interceptions in a single game. This isn't a highlight. It's a low point that's never been matched, and likely never will be. In 1969, Florida quarterback John Reeves threw 9 interceptions in a single game against Auburn. That's the most ever by one player in an FBS game, and it still stands over 50 years later. Reeves was just a sophomore at the time, and a talented one. He went on to become the SEC's all-time passing leader and had a long pro career. But on that day, everything went wrong. Florida trailed early and got one-dimensional fast. Reeves kept throwing, and Auburn kept picking him off. The Tigers' defense knew exactly what was coming, and they took full advantage, forcing mistake after mistake with aggressive coverage and pressure. By the end, Reeves had thrown for over 400 yards, but those 9 interceptions overshadowed everything. In today's game, this kind of performance would never happen. Coaches would pull the quarterback after 3 or 4 picks. Teams rotate faster, manage optics, and protect players from spiraling mid-game. But back then, starters stayed in. Quarterbacks played through it. And that's why Reeves' 9 interception game is so unique and so unlikely to be repeated. Texas.
Man, tell them coach, get his ass up out of there, bro. We about to lose the game, man. Get his ass. At least he threw for 400, but damn, 9 interceptions. Like, look, that's what you call being old and stubborn. You're a starter. You stay in there. You're gonna play through this. And I ain't gonna lie, as a player, I would love to play through it, but as a fan of the game, watching that shit, I'm like, bro, get him the fuck up out of here, bro. All he doing is giving the ball to the other team, bro. That ain't what he here to do. Like, shit, it's crazy. He threw for 9 interceptions, but still had 400 yards. So he was still slinging it a little bit. He was still slinging it, but he was fucking around and giving it to the other team. All right, man, look, we got 2 more records, man. I don't think that record ever be broken, and hopefully it don't get broken, bro. He need to hold that L. You need to hold that L to the end of time, bro. 9, bro.
Tech versus Centenary. 77 combined punts in a single game. This isn't just a weird stat. It's the strangest game in college football history. In 1939, Texas Tech and Centenary combined for 77 punts in a single game. That's the most ever recorded, and nothing else even.
He better tell me what the score was for this. 77 punts? Bruh, tell me the score was 3-0. You better tell me that shit was 3-0, bro. 77 punts.
Comes close. It wasn't a defensive slugfest, it was a weather nightmare. The game was played in a torrential downpour in Shreveport, Louisiana. The field was completely waterlogged. Offenses couldn't move the ball, passes were nearly impossible, and footing was a mess. So both teams resorted to punting, over and over again, hoping to flip field position and force a turnover. Centenary punted every single time they had the ball. 31 of their 33 punts came on first down. It was pure survival football. Texas Tech wasn't much different. They punted 36 times themselves. In total, the ball was punted more than once per minute of game time. Neither team reached the end zone. The final score was 0-0. You'll never see a game like it again. Andre.
Bro, these some dummies, man. Look, in the sad part, that was probably when it was just run the fucking ball. Run the ball. You talking about foot and suck, bitch? Run the ball. At least give your. They said these motherfuckers punted 31 of 33 times on first down. You punting on first down? Bro, you ain't even giving yourself a chance. Bro, run the ball. Look, there's some super geniuses that they say need to be the coach. You punting on first down, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't care how hard it's fucking raining. Bitch, run the ball. You don't believe you can throw it. Run the fucking football, dude.
Shit, kick a long ass field goal.
Like, damn. The score ended up 0-0. So obviously they solutions, they theory, they whole hypothesis of how we gonna win this game didn't work out for them. Neither coach. He kicked it. Oh, I'm gonna kick it too. Hey, bitch, run the fucking football. Make it be a mud match. Like, what kind of shit is that? Last one, y'all. Last one. That's crazy, bro. Y'all punted it. That's stupid coaching, bro.
Where 517 passing yards in one half. In 1989, Houston quarterback Andre Ware threw for 517 yards in the first half against SMU. Not the game, the first half. No one has ever thrown for more in a single half at the FBS level. Ware was running the run and shoot offense under head coach Jack Pardee, a system built for speed, space, and aggression. And Ware executed it perfectly. He spread the field, hit every receiver in stride, and kept the tempo so fast that SMU's defense never had time to recover. By the end of 2 quarters, Ware had racked up 5 touchdown passes and over 500 yards, then sat the entire second half. He didn't need to come back in. The damage was done. That season, Ware went on to win the Heisman Trophy, and his Houston offense set records across the board. Even in today's pass-heavy era, with more plays, more possessions, and higher-scoring games, no quarterback has thrown for more in a single half. And most coaches don't let their starters play long enough to even try. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be
Yeah, look, we enjoyed it, man, but you got some contradictions in here that you need to fix. At least one, but that last one, I don't think that one will get broken, man. 500 plus in a half? Like, that's crazy. But the craziest one to me though, man, that punt, bro. 77 punts. Like, bro, look, who coaching these teams, bro? These are college FBS teams. And you telling me that these coaches ain't got the wherewithal to say, run the ball. If I get it, I don't get it. Why the fuck you punting on first down? That don't even make no sense. I can understand you punting on fourth, but I would at least give myself 3 chances to try to advance the ball. But you telling me you punting on first? And they thought that was like a good fucking strategy. Which one you think was the craziest one, Mr. Listen, man? Look, man. Yeah, here, look. Give me your final thoughts. Give me your final thoughts on this shit, bro.
Man, 77 punts, man. By a landslide.
That's crazy, man. Look, man, tell the people your final thoughts, man. Tell them where to find you at, all that in the bag of chips, man. Because I can't even come back from that 77, man.
Well, my final thoughts is I'm grateful to the Lord that football has evolved. So thank the Lord. And you can find me at and preseason starts Thursday.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. And you can find me at Mr. Lister. You'll see the Jesus that's holding up the game sign.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Fucking and yeah, you right about that, man. I'm happy that preseason is about to kick off. I know that Shador against Carolina, the Browns versus Carolina, gonna probably be the most watched preseason game because they did announce y'all, for y'all that don't know, that Shador will be starting that game after not getting no time with the number
Yo, what you
ones.
think about that, bro?
They only doing it because of injury. They only doing it because everybody else injured. Otherwise, they would have had him be the last one to come off the bench.
That motherfucker better not throw no interception. I can tell
Hey
you
man,
that.
I believe he gonna go out there and play good. He ain't gonna play the whole game, man. They signed Tyler Huntley to the team, so
Yeah,
he gonna come
no.
in after.
He don't know
Yeah,
the
he gonna.
playbook though, so I ain't worried about his ass.
Oh look, they ain't worried about it. It's just preseason. They just bringing him in because fucking Joe Flacco. They not gonna play him because they plan on him being the starter. Kenny Pickett hurt. Dylan Gabriel hurt. And it's like, look, they didn't want to play Shador. I'm trying to tell you, you already know the fix is in
Oh
on
yeah,
that shit,
you
bro.
already know the fix is in, cuz.
But look, everything is happening. Look, like Dion like to say, and his whole family, God works in mysterious ways. And if this boy go out here in this preseason and show everybody what the hell he been showing them in training camp, it's gonna get to the point where, bro, you can't deny him. You already denied him being a top 2, top 3 draft pick. You dropped him all the way down to the 5th round. You done put him in here and not giving him first team reps. When that boy go out there and do what the hell he supposed to do, you ain't gonna be able to deny it. Because all the haters out here that talked about that kid, watch what he do when he get in there. And I know what the next argument is gonna be. It's just preseason. That's gonna be their next argument. It's just preseason. It's like, all right. Everybody ain't gonna be able to deny because I got faith in that boy, and I believe he gonna go out there and do what he need to do. So I'm happy that.
I just want to see how he do under pressure.
And look, he gonna do the same thing he did at Colorado.
Man, he better not keep dropping back, taking them damn sacks.
Oh no, he look. You already know they ain't still throwing the ball away. But look, man, he was the most accurate quarterback coming out of college that year.
Yeah.
I believe he gonna be accurate again. I believe. Look, man,
with no damn running game,
no run game, in a terrible line.
Yep.
I believe he gonna show us show the people that actually believe in him what they believe in, what we actually saw, and hopefully we see how it play out. When it came to these conversations, man, look, that record of the 77 points, man, that's just ridiculous. That don't even make no sense. That's just terrible coaching. And I bet money probably both of those coaches in the coaching Hall of Fame. I bet money they put them in the coaching Hall of Fame. But that was a terrible scheme, and that show you how stupid some people were at the time. But to the Lamar shit, man, look, man, people need to put some respect on that dude's name. Even if you don't root for that team, root for players. That's why I'm a player fan. I'm not a team fan. I don't have no loyalty to no organization. I root for the players. And if my player leave, I might leave with him, depending on how much I like him. And that dude, even him not being my favorite player. Say it again.
I know that's off topic, but since we're talking about football, you think Michael Parsons, you think he's going to get his money when it's all said and done?
Yeah, Jerry going to give it to him. Jerry going to give it to him. Jerry do this every time, bro. He did that same shit with Dak. He did that same shit with Dez Bryant. He did. Yeah, he did. Look, he do it with all of them, man. He just wants some controversy so he can sell some tickets, man. Jerry got the same old track record. That's why his ass can't win no goddamn Super Bowls.
That's
stupid
terrible.
Ass. He rich as fuck. He know how to put people in them seats, but he don't know how to win no goddamn championship. That's why I laugh at all the Cowboy fans, man. You look, you better hope Jerry Jones go ahead and pass away, because he ain't selling that goddamn team. I tell you that he ain't selling that team. But now look, back to the
shit, keeping them alive, man, that bitch would be 100 over 100 still.
Yep, I'm making player decisions. It's like, man, sit your old ass down somewhere, man. Old ass, man. The game done passed you by a long time ago.
If anybody can make it to 100, bro, he can, bro.
Oh yeah, he got the money for it, man.
Right.
He definitely got the money. But like for real, man, the last part I want to put on it, man, look, man, for all these folks that been hating on Lamar, man, y'all need to just go ahead and close y'all mouth, man. The dude done did everything you would want any of your quarterbacks to do. The only thing that he hasn't done that anybody can hold over his head is win the Super Bowl. And that's crazy when you only got one thing you can hold over a player's head, when the people that you put up on a pedestal and hold at the highest honor have multiple things. Put some respect on that boy name. That man been doing what the fuck he's supposed to do. And I understand it comes from the old narrative that certain people can't play that position. They can't think fast enough and all that shit.
Right.
That's cap. We done proved that wrong. It's been proven wrong. And hopefully some of y'all get with the times and understand that you can't control the narrative no more. But I'm rooting for the dude, even though I'm rooting for the Chiefs too. They prove these people wrong, man. And this year might actually be their year, even though I'm not rooting for y'all to it be your year. But if my team get knocked out, I promise you I'll be rooting for you if you're still in the fight. But look, man, it's been fun. It's been fun doing this one tonight. We're gonna be back here on Thursday. I gotta do cop night. And Wednesday I get my day off. But look, man, y'all, if you watched over on the J Talk Sports, if you watched over on Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube or Let's Talk with JVJ on Facebook, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow. We are definitely trying to grow this shit over here, and I really only can do it with y'all. I can't go and subscribe to myself. I already done did it. I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out. Yeah, I can't subscribe to myself no more. Fucking we trying to get this shit up there, man, so we can only do it with y'all. So help your boy out. But nah, it's been fun. It's been great. But Miss Alyssa got to get him some sleep, and I got to get me something to eat, and y'all got to get y'all ass on to doing something else. So we gonna fuck with y'all the next one as always, man. Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Oh, hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my